Today I'm going to show you 3 ways that you can still do shoulder exercises like lateral raises, bench press, and shoulder press, even if you have shoulder pain. What's up, YouTube family? How you doing? It's Blake Bowman here with Gorilla Zen Fitness, and in today's video, like I said, I'm going to be showing you basically how you can do traditional shoulder exercises even if they kind of bother your shoulders. So other than improving the centration and mechanics, which is basically the alignment of your shoulders, which I'll talk more about at the end of this video, you may be wondering how you can still do things like lateral raises, bench press, and shoulder press if you're somebody that has shoulder problems. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to show you how to do today. Remember though, this is not a substitute for your doctor's opinion, and it's also really it's kind of contingent on what is going on wrong with your shoulder. If you have a soft tissue tear, like a rotator cuff tear, and that's what's causing your shoulder pain, you really want to take care of that instead of just trying to work around it. So always keep that in mind. This is not a substitute for your doctor's advice, and if any of these exercises are still causing you pain, even after you've modified them, then obviously don't continue to do them. All right, let's get into the exercises. All right, so the first exercise I'm going to show you how to modify is bench press, okay? And it's going to be with dumbbells, okay? And the reason for that is you can't really modify a barbell bench press, unfortunately, okay? And that oftentimes aggravates people due to the internally rotated position that the barbell kind of forces your humerus, your arm bone, into, okay? Most of us are internally rotated already because we have muscle imbalances. We're working at a computer where our arms are turned in like that all the time. Basically, being turned in like that is associated with a lot of different shoulder dysfunctions. Impingement syndrome is one of the most common ones, okay? So I know this kind of sucks to hear, but if barbell bench press is bothering your shoulder, you're probably going to have a hard time working around that. There's not really a lot of ways you can modify that, unless you get a barbell with a neutral grip, okay? But it's easier to do that with a dumbbell, which I'll show you now. So even if you're doing dumbbell bench press, but you're holding the dumbbells parallel, or they're converging at one another like this, your arms are still internally rotated. You're still mimicking that same position that you would have on a barbell, okay? So the way you fix that is by externally rotating your humerus, your arm bone, and holding the dumbbells like this, okay? This is going to feel weird. It's not going to feel like a normal bench press does, not even a normal dumbbell bench press. And you might not feel your pecs contracting as much, okay, because they're not your arms aren't internally rotated, and the pecs actually help to do that. But you will find that this feels easier on your shoulders. It takes a lot of mechanical stress off of your shoulders, okay? So basically to do this, it's pretty simple. You're basically just going to do a dumbbell bench press by keeping the dumbbells in a neutral position like this. So you're not going to turn them inwards like this, right? You are actually going to turn so that your thumbs are pointing straight up. You're going to retract those scapula, pull them down. Keep that chest lifted. Big exhale, push from here. Okay, like I said, it's probably not going to feel the exact same, right? You might feel it less in your pecs, a little bit more in your delts, which if you're a bodybuilder, that might bother you, but you're going to feel this takes a lot of load off of your shoulder, and it feels better on your shoulder, and you're actually able to do this, right? So, for me, it's all about being able to move pain-free. If barbell bench press and dumbbell bench press with a pronated grip like this, which internally rotates the arms, is bothering your shoulder, give this a try, right? You'll still be able to do a horizontal pressing motion, which is what this is. You just might not feel it in your pecs as much, but, on the same token, you're going to feel better. Your shoulders are going to feel better. This is not going to hurt as much. So that's one way that you can modify the bench press to kind of make that more pain-free. You don't have to do this with dumbbells. There are some barbells actually that have a neutral grip that you can use. I like this better though because you can't adjust the width of that grip, and when you're in a neutral position it can feel weird if it's too wide or too narrow. So for that reason I like to use dumbbells. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to modify a traditional lateral raise, okay, like this, and make this a little bit more pain-free. Okay, so one thing that you want to consider is, again, that internal rotation thing that I was talking about with the bench press. The more internally rotated you are, the more this is probably going to bother your shoulder. So if you're somebody that does that pinkies up kind of lateral raise, that's going to bother your shoulder. So there are 2 ways that I want I want to show you that you can modify this. You can use them both in conjunction with one another, or you can use them together, okay, or separately, right? So the first one is, instead of raising right out to the side in the frontal plane, which is what that's called, which is directly off to the side like this, what you can do is you can do the shoulder raise in what's called the scapular plane of motion instead, which is about off at a 45-degree angle here. So it's not like a frontal raise, but it's not a completely sideways raise either. It's right in between, okay? This will still hit that medial delt, which is oftentimes what you're targeting with the lateral raise. But you'll oftentimes find that being in the scapular plane, which is about at a 45, it's at 45 degrees here, instead of right off to the side, that's a more pain-free, plane of motion to move in, okay? So just by being in this plane a little bit more out in front of you instead of back all the way right off to the side, you'll find right there that modification oftentimes makes your shoulders feel better. Keep in mind too, whenever you're doing any kind of shoulder raise, you want to keep those scapula as retracted as possible. If your shoulders are coming forward like this, it doesn't matter. You can be in the, the frontal plane right off to the side here, or you can be out here. That's still going to hurt your shoulders. So you got to keep tension in your upper back as you do this, but you want to be like right there, 45 degrees, okay? So that's one way you can modify a lateral raise. Another way is, again, kind of like what we did with the bench press, taking you out of this internally rotated position, externally rotating you, okay? And you can do lateral raises like this, okay? Again, you're not going to feel this as much in those, side delts, the medial deltoid, but you're going to find that this is more pain-free too. So you can do this right off to the side, or you can couple that with that first modification I showed you and do the neutral grip lateral raise in the scapular plane, okay? Again, with those two tweaks should really allow you to move your shoulder here effectively and pain-free. But remember that you want to keep that tension in the upper back while you're doing this. All right, so the last modification that I want to show you is how to shoulder press pain-free, and it's pretty much the exact same thing as the bench press, okay? There's a common theme in all of these, and that's basically just keeping the arm bone, the humerus, out of internal rotation, keeping it in a more neutral position in the joint socket here. So just like the bench press, you basically want to take the same grip, right? So if pressing straight overhead with your palms facing forward like this is bothering your shoulders, then you could take the dumbbells, orient them parallel with each other like this, thumbs pointing back, keep that core tight, and press straight up like this, right? So that's how you would modify that for a more pain-free version. Again, you're going to find that you might feel different muscle fibers contracting. It might feel a little bit different. You might not like it as much, but you'll also find that this is less painful on your shoulder. There you have it. Those are some really powerful ways to modify common, shoulder exercises to make them a little bit more pain-free. If you like this video, then don't forget to hit that like button down below. Also hit that red subscribe button over here, right next to Gorilla Zen Fitness, because I upload on here every week. And lastly, like I touched on in the beginning, if you want to learn more about how to improve your shoulder joint centration, which is oftentimes what's causing shoulder pain in the first place, the humerus, the arm bone, it's really not optimally aligned. It doesn't come into the shoulder socket where it's supposed to, and when you're moving a joint around with a misalignment, that's going to cause pain, dysfunction, and injury to occur. So basically, I put together a little workout for you that actually improves joint centration of the shoulder. It aligns it properly by using a lot of different corrective exercises. Okay, so that is free for you. All you have to do is click the first link in the description down below, or the first comment. I put it in the comment section and I pinned it there. Basically, that link will take you to my website. I'll ask you for your email. As soon as you enter in your email, I'll send you the workout within 5 minutes, okay? So make sure you get that if you're somebody that has shoulder problems and you're looking to fix it. Like I said too, to close this video, if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel yet, go ahead and do that over here. Click that button right up there. Also, if you were looking for another spot to get my shoulder centration workout that teaches you how to optimally align your shoulders so that they feel better and they function better, you can get there by clicking that button too. That'll take you to the same page of my website with the rest of those links. So that's it for today. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.